Yo, 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 and welcome back to round 3 of the HRA League here around China. I qualified P6, as you can see, behind the 4-5 top boys, Kaskibu and George Plaster being the main ones. Now, my aim for this race is gonna be to not die, because as the 3-4-5 red lights go off and it's lights out and away we go, because my setup was a time trial setup and those don't fare well in the races, as you know. So it's gonna be a difficult one, but into turn 1 we battle down. They almost make contact, well they do actually, but they don't spin out, which I was hoping to on this twisty, narrow, snail-like section of the track. Warning collision with as we have now ended behind us on the medium tire. I don't remember where he started, but he's had a pretty good start because he's behind us. And I didn't see him on the start, which means he's made up a couple places. Logical logic here going on. As now into this into sector 2 we go. We're already 7/10 behind the guys in front. They are on soft, remember, but their pace is better than mine anyway. So right now my main contenders are going to be Ended and ADHD Jaden, basically the cars behind instead of in front. This has been a running theme throughout this league, where we look behind rather than in front, as the level is really high. As I say that, the Mercedes almost spins out there. We take an opportunity, but on this long straight, he's gonna have a chance to get back at us, and he's gonna go around the outside to do so. We're gonna deploy ERS to try and maintain the inside line, but he's gonna have more grip around the outside on those softs. Is he gonna stick it? We're gonna try and force him wide, but still leave him a car's width. And he's ahead. He's ahead going into the beginning of lap 2. So personally, we haven't made any changes, but objectively, we are, let's say, a bit worse. But it's still good, as if we maintain this pace and stay within the DRS of the Mercedes, we can maybe get dragged along in front of the group behind. As when you're catched in to the group behind, it is absolutely dreadful. As you can see, we have managed to do the exact opposite, as we are 3 seconds behind the Mercedes and under attack from Ended. He's gonna have a look down the inside. Fortunately, it doesn't look like he wanted to commit to the move. I don't know why. Maybe he wanted to wait for a better opportunity, or maybe he thought fighting wasn't worthwhile. Anyway, here on lap 3, he is behind us, so coming on to the next straight, really long straight. I like it, but this race I didn't like it because my setup was shit. Now, I know I'm blaming the car, but you'll see later why. Oh, you'll see right here. Yeah, that's oversteer. Oversteer is going to be a big problem during this race, as we're now going to drop two places, and we have the McLaren of Sammy behind. As we're going to gain those places back with a double overtake on the straights. Absolutely fantastic stuff going on here. He's going to try and stick it around the outside. He locks up. We're going to push him wide. He hits us. And yeah, side by side, we're going to maybe look around the outside, but no, we're just going to brake and not take any risks. We're not going to do a Lewis Hamilton to 2007. That's not my intention. We're not in a championship fight anyway. As we now get back ahead with the DRS. Pretty good scrap, I would say, on the first 4 laps of this Chinese Grand Prix. In real life, it hasn't been on the calendar for about 4 years? No, 3 years. For questionable reasons. The official one being COVID. But yeah, anyway, on lap 4, he's going to try and look for the pass again. Now, when I look back at it, I use way too much ERS because I don't know why I'm fighting it. He has DRS. If he wants to go for the move, he's going to go for the move. So no point in defending really hard with my battery here. I was now going to have the inside line for the turn. But on the contrary, for last lap, he's going to get ahead on the outside while we were on the inside this time. So it would appear that my confidence in this race is not on top form, as I'm not confident enough under braking. As on lap 7, he has, on the worst tyre, bridged a gap, or I'd say made a gap of 1.4 seconds, which means that we're not going to have DRS to defend from Ended. He's going to throw it down the inside and make it stick pretty easily, as we have no ERS to defend ourselves. Now we're going to have to look back Hayam Ash in the AlphaTauri behind us, instead of looking forward to retake the place from him. That actually he has a moment of oversteer, which means that we're gonna have a run here with the DRS that we finally get now. We're gonna try and throw it round the outside and take back the place that is rightfully ours into this long, fucking snail-like section of the track. Really tricky section here, really tire dependent or grip dependent on what tire you have, which should mean that actually the Haas in front should be slower, but he is faster, which means that we just don't have the pace into this right-hander. We lock up, or he goes for the dive bomb, and he's gonna take the position, or we're gonna go side by side now, and he's gonna use ERS. I think he's flashing actually. He is flashing, which means now we have more ERS because we are not flashing. Simple maths. But he is just playing faster, really. That's how this race goes here in China. We're in P5, but that's because people pitted. As actually lap 12, yeah, ADHD Jaden will have faster tires, and what, we spin. We spin. Pretty bad unfolding of the race for an already pretty poor one. As we're now down to P9 behind people who pitted, which means that we're going to lose even more positions than we originally were with our poor pace. So yeah, that's an unfortunate sequence of events, as I think here on lap 12 we're going to pit for hard tires, as yeah, tires are not feeling good. We have a snap of oversteer in a straight line there, not really optimal, as we almost do a Hamilton. Fortunately, there's no gravel. So no Hamilton for us. We are better. That's official. 7-time world champion. That's me. As now into the pits we must go. We're actually gonna pit for softs. Hold on. I don't remember this. We're pitting for softs. All right. Well, this means that we're gonna have to do more than 12 laps on the softs. That's not a good strategy unless we go for the 2-stop, or we hope for a safety car, which I think that was my plan here. My memory doesn't serve me too well, but safety cars usually happen in this league. But the walls are quite far off in this track, so I'm quite confused as what my thought process was. As now on lap 16, Trappy has caught up to us, and he's on the medium, so I think he's going to go to the end of the race. But he is faster than us, so we're not really going to try and defend this. But he has DRS, so not really much we can defend. As he goes past us, as we now have the Ferrari of David behind us. But he's gonna do nothing as his switchback falls to crap, as we are now gonna try and line up a move on Trappy to escape from David, as he is still trying to overtake us. We can go down the inside here, switch over to the right hand side of the track, hold the inside line, pretty straightforward move. As yeah, on lap 17 now, oh, he's gonna go for the switchback around the outside, which means that we now have the inside line, but he's gonna have the better traction around the outside on the medium tires. Now I do believe his mediums are now faster than our softs, but we're gonna go down the inside, try and maybe take back the position, but we have a little hit there, almost have a bit of oversteer, which means that we almost go off track, and that lets David past us. So now, yeah, unfortunately we went from P10 to P12. Not the best of situations right now, but we're just gonna have to keep moving forward. We're still gonna have DRS. I think we're gonna have to pit another time, a second time, or maybe hope for a safety car. So no, we're gonna pit now on lap 17 for softs. So yeah, not the best of situations. We're gonna drop down all the way to P13, maybe P14. We're gonna have to check where Ian comes out, and he's gonna be right behind us, and he's passed us, almost hit us there, but yeah, now we have the medium tires, so we should be fast enough to overtake him. We did pit for medium, sorry, not softs. So now we're just gonna try and use our superior tires to maybe get ahead of him in this in the second sector, which relies a lot on mechanical grip, and get ahead of the DRS before the DRS zone. We go down the inside, pretty late move, but he leaves us a space. Pretty clean racing. We have now the outside line, and with the better tires, I'm hoping to get good traction, and we do. We are past him, past the Williams up into P13, and we're now going to look and try and overtake the 2 Ferraris ahead of us. That's going to be a bit of a pickle, a bit of a challenge, as we have 25 seconds to make up in 10 laps. And you can see now 6 laps later, we've only gained 6 seconds to the guy in front. Somebody did pit though, so that means we're promoted to P11, which means that we're gonna have to only overtake one car to get points. And David in the Ferrari does have a 3-second penalty, but we're now gonna have to contend with the AlphaTauri on the softs behind us. Really not ideal now, as we actually go a bit wide there, so that's going to compromise our exit a lot. And he hits us. That's the same guy who spun us about a billion times already, remember? So I'm a bit scared going side by side with him, and that is, to me, that feels like a warning shot. I'm not going to let him through though. I'm going to try and maybe get him back by the end of the straight, but he does have DRS, so that's not really good. But on the next straight, we are going to have DRS, so that's going to be good for us. And he goes a bit wide there, so that's going to compromise his exit, but actually our exit is much poorer. So let's see onto this straight if we have the traction needed. We do exceed track limits, and he does have a 6-second penalty, as now he is flashing as well. So that's going to give us all the advantage we need, but our advantage is nothing compared to the lack of skill we have during this race. As a lap later, he's out of DRS. However, on the last lap, we have been catching up to him, but we are shit. So that's the end of our race. I'm just going to retire then and there, because I couldn't be bothered to drive the rest of the lap. P12, it is. Actually, second last, as only 2 cars behind us, as there only were 2 cars behind us. So really not a good race there. Really poor from me, beginning to end. Well, beginning wasn't too bad, but then the race kind of unraveled like it did. As now let's take a look at the standings. We are now in bottom in the P11 kind of region. Only 2 points behind Sammy or Sammy or Sensei, that's how he's named in the standings. So yeah, pretty poor. Now I am gonna miss the next three races, so that's not gonna help our championship too much as well. We're not gonna aim for a win here, of course, but yeah, nice to score some points here and there. So yeah. If you've enjoyed the video, guys, please leave a like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!